Hey guys, I am Leah Matthews and I am the owner and director of Studio Go and the co-founder and co-owner of Studio 2 Go.
Hi everybody, it's me again from CamilleMarzette.com, and I am here with Miss Leah Matthews of Studio Go and Studio 2 Go, right?
That's correct.
Right here in Atlanta, and she's a dear friend of mine. We go way back. We go way back, right?
Yeah.
When?
Like 12 years, I think.
Yeah, when I first
2006?
moved here. We met at, do you remember where we actually met?
Corporate payroll.
Corporate
Payroll. We had 2 corporate jobs together.
Yep, and it was you that introduced me to Michael Page.
Yeah, the second one.
Should we go in and talk about Michael Page?
Sure, let's do it.
I don't know about that. I don't want to get sued by Michael Page for talking about them.
I mean, I guess you could say it's a little bit like The Boiler Room if you've seen that movie.
Yeah, it was exactly
like the Boiler Room. It was intense. Yeah. It was a very intense, like 95% male work environment.
No,
a lot of fun.
There were only three women
girls
in the office. Me, you, and Heather. Shout out to Heather Johnson out there. Hey!
It was fun. It was a really fun, work hard, play hard environment. Work hard, play hard.
Play hard. Play hard, though. Like, we used to play hard.
Yeah.
But they used to work, well, they used to work y'all asses off.
I was about to say, she didn't. Okay, I'm over here working 13 hours a day. She could leave at 4 o'clock to get a manicure and it was fine.
Right? I was the, like, come in late, leave early.
Yeah, so when we say there were 3 women, it was actually 2 women consultants, and then she ran the office.
Right.
So she had, like, no constraints to what she did. It was like, oh yeah, there's some nice champagne in the fridge, go have some of that. Where, you know, meanwhile, Heather and I were working until like 8:30 at night, but, you know, whatever.
And I would be like, bye y'all, see y'all later.
At 4. And she came in like at 10 and I had been there since 8 in the morning.
Yep, but we had fun there.
We had fun.
And we met some really cool people.
We did.
I actually learned a lot from the people that I worked there. I learned what to do, what not to do.
It was very diverse.
Exactly. And
we learned a lot.
Yep.
And we also, I think, learned to be entrepreneurs there because you and I used to go on walks. We were in Midtown.
And talk.
And I remember we'd walk and talk because we just had to get out of there. Like, I'd eat my lunch at my desk, so I'd be like, I just need to get out of here for an hour and breathe.
And then, you know, we used to have plans. Like, we used to be like, okay, when we leave here, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do that. And look at you now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. We both would go on these walks and say, I can't do this corporate bull crap anymore. And this is not for me. And lo and behold.
In fact, when the Atlanta office closed, that was when I was kind of like, didn't have a job. And I remember going on interviews and they always said that I was overqualified. Or if they wanted to hire me, they wanted to pay me like $8 an hour
and
with
like,
my qualifications. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So that was like, you know what? I'm not about to. First of all, I got away with murder at Michael Page.
Truly.
So I couldn't imagine going to work.
And you
for
were
someone
compensated
else.
better than what you were.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? It's time for me to just do my own thing.
Well, so similar happened to me. I knew I didn't want to do that anymore because, like I said, it was a very stressful, high demanding, cutthroat industry, and it just wasn't what I wanted to do. But the market had crashed, our office had closed, and I was trying to change industries. Well, guess what? Everybody's trying to get a job. So
and that was at the time where it was like there were hardly any jobs.
Yeah. And then you had like these people who were very overqualified making less money to get their foot in the door. And I went through, you know, a period of months where I was like, no, I'm not sacrificing. That's not right. And then finally I got to a point where I got a job offer making 50% of what I was making. Maybe a little more, but somewhere around there. And I took it. Because I was just like, you know what? I need it. I need to figure this out. And then, as you can imagine, that didn't last very long.
Next thing I know.
Next thing I know, I am quitting my job to go teach dance, and my family and friends think I'm crazy. But I was engaged at that point. Fiance, now husband, baby daddy, was very supportive of it, and that's all that really mattered. So, and it worked.
So tell me about Studio Go.
So basically, we provide dance to area schools, churches, synagogues, preschools, just kind of rec centers, whatnot. So we'll go in, we'll partner with them, we'll provide the dance. That way the parents don't have to take their kid to a studio on the nights or the weekends.
Is it mostly ballet?
It's mostly ballet and tap, and then we have some hip hop too and creative.
Because what is your base? Didn't you
I did kind of everything. Yeah, I was a competitive dancer. I started out with ballet, tap, jazz, modern, hip hop, African, lyrical, funk. I mean, I did pretty much
I remember
everything.
that on our walks. That was something we talked about, and we kind of
you
had in
dance,
common
too.
because I used to be a dancer, but my core was hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I took jazz and ballet, but my core was hip hop. So
yeah.
We had that in common during our walks.
Which I think is important because a lot of people kind of lose that if say they want to go like the hip hop route. Ballet is still so important no matter what you do.
Very
it just teaches you so much about like how to control your body and holding your body and different muscles you're utilizing and left and right.
And now, what schools are you mostly in? Are you mostly in Atlanta or are there other?
Yeah, so we're in close to 40 schools here in Atlanta. Mostly preschools, and then we're in some elementary schools too. So our primary age is like 2.5 to 10, I would say.
Aww.
Yeah, but above that, we really feel like you need to be in a studio. But when you're young, there's nothing that we can't do with you in a school.
And it's good too to have it in a school environment too, right? It's
the kids are
the
kids are more comfortable. They know their friends. Yeah.
Right, and then the parent doesn't have to take them someplace separate from school. Do you do it mostly in the mornings or afternoons
both.
or during
It depends.
school?
So it's both. It's morning, during school, after school. It just depends on the setup with the school. And then, like for instance, some places, if it's an elementary school or a state-funded pre-K, we have to do aftercare because they can't miss the day. But if you're in like a private preschool, we could come at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it just really varies. And I think it's also really unique and good because those are the times that a lot of dance teachers aren't teaching if they teach at a studio, is during the day. So we really have a good pool of talent to pull from for our teachers, and generally speaking, we can pay higher than the industry because we don't have the overhead space that studios have. So usually we have really fantastic teachers. So it's a really good model.
And you always looking for teachers?
Yeah, I mean,
really?
Always
Looking for teachers. Any dancers out there?
Absolutely, because we can utilize you for subbing, or we're always growing. And I think that's been the interesting thing. It's like, we just keep growing, and it's great. We started in 2015 here, and then we've grown in Atlanta. In end of 2015, we expanded to Charleston, and then 2016 expanded to Chattanooga, and then last year expanded to Athens, Georgia.
So when you decided to go ahead and I'm gonna start this business, were you nervous?
Yes and no. I don't think I was as nervous as I should have been. I think I was a little naive about it, but I think that was a blessing.
But I think that's what most entrepreneurs are. We're usually the people that are like, I'm about to do this.
I had no choice. I had no choice. I felt like failure was not an option.
Yeah, failure is never, for people who, I feel like with entrepreneurs, we don't think about the failure. We'd rather do it, and if we fail, then okay, on to the next thing. I think that's just something that all entrepreneurs have.
I agree. It's a different mindset.
Yeah.
Because some people can get so caught up in the analyzing of it. Well, what if this goes wrong? What if I don't make this? And they never do it.
Right.
Where when you don't analyze it, and you're just like, well, shit, sorry.
So you don't teach any of the classes anymore? Not one.
I mean, I sub.
Okay.
Like I'm subbing next week, and I sub pretty regularly. So, and I've subbed 2 weeks ago, but week to week I don't. After I had Jonah, I wanted that first year to be with him.
And see, that's the blessing, that your business has grown to where you can just be like, I don't want to work. I just want to stay home with my son and still have revenue coming in.
Yeah, and that's what it boiled down to is, and it was a hard transition because a lot of the parents who I had taught their kids for years really liked me, and they wanted me, and they didn't understand.
Right.
But the problem with that is when you own a business, it's not just the teaching for me. Like yours is not just the hair.
Right.
There's other stuff involved.
Right.
So what would happen before is I would go teach, and I'd have like a day that I would do all my office work, which you can't really always get done all in one day. So it'd be nights, it'd be weekends, me responding to emails at 10 o'clock at night after I had come home and made dinner and whatnot. And I'm not willing to do that right now in the state of life I am. I have a husband, I have a son, I have another baby on the way, and they are more important to me.
Right.
So if I have to give up teaching so that I can get all the emails and the parent newsletters and the insurance and the accounting and the
Right.
taxes and all that done during the day.
Right.
So like we said, when I'm with my child, I'm with my child.
Right.
That's far more important.
You have to have a life balance or it won't work. You have to. That's how I feel, because if you don't, you'll go crazy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I used to get really bogged down and be guilty of that, of responding to emails over the weekend. And especially when you work with people's kids,
Right.
they kind of expect,
Right.
there's a little bit of a, well, I emailed you. Yeah, you emailed me Saturday at 10:53 p.m.
Right.
I'm not responding to you on a Sunday.
Right.
You don't respond to your work email on a Sunday. So I will get back to you Monday once I get in the office and I sort through all my emails and determine the ones that are most time sensitive and then work down from there. And that really has made a difference in happiness, even in productivity, because when you're on all the time, you're just tired.
You're just tired.
Yeah.
And you can get burnt out as well. So how do you decompress? Like, what are
Well,
things
lots
that
of
you
wine, but not right now.
Right. No, you
not
can't
right
do
now.
that now. So what would
Not right
you
now.
do?
So I really try to be active.
Okay.
You know, cardio, bar, yoga, walking, weight training, whatever. I try to mix it up, but I
That's
try
how
to.
you decompress?
Yeah.
Working out? That doesn't sound like fun to me.
But other than that, I do like getting massages.
Okay.
I try to get at least one a month, sometimes more. I make the time to do that. I like reading. Reading is a good
What are you reading
decompress.
now?
Well, it is called The Summer Villa. It's just like a girly summer like story. It's not anything intellectually stimulating. Okay. Right before that, I read Girl Wash Your Face, which was really great.
What is that? Who's that by?
Rachel Hollis. You should read it. She's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And she's a mom.
Okay.
And she's really real about her struggles with like weight, with sex, with being a mom, with everything. So Girl Wash Your Face is a really inspirational book, and it basically just gets down to like, you're doing a great job and quit trying to compare yourself back again to social media.
Right.
You think you're not doing it right, you're doing it right. Before that, I read it's called Your Storybook Brand. It's about branding your company in such a way to tell a story. So I had read like, one business book and one inspirational book. I'm like, I need that beachy girl book.
Right.
Which is about, it's just like about a lady whose husband dies. And when he died, he bought her a villa in Spain.
Oh.
So then she goes to Spain and lives in this villa for the summer and like meets her grandmother's sister and learns all about her past.
That sounds like a boring book. Do you still chew on your hair?
Yeah. Yeah.
You used to sit in your little corner
when
area.
I think, I'm like, yes, Todd calls me out on it all the time. Yeah. That's when you know I'm like deep in thought, is when I'm like mindlessly playing with my hair or chewing them.
So how did Studio 2 go? How did it come about?
So, one of our teachers, who was also a friend of mine, she brought it up. She said, "Hey, have you ever thought about, packaging your curriculum and selling it, because it's really good and there's a good market for that." And to be honest, I kind of had at that point, because I knew there were a couple other competitors, but it just wasn't really like a top 5 goal, because I had a 5-month-old baby at the time and there was just other stuff going on.
And when you say package your curriculum, what does that mean?
So we have a subscription service. So basically dance studios around the world use our curriculum. So we're creating choreography, and we give them videos and PDFs, and we do little coloring sheets for our kids, lesson plans, playlists, you name it, and we package it up, and it's like a monthly. So here is your lesson plans and choreography and everything for the month. And every month they get new content.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all online, cost is low.
Right.
And it is really limitless, because like I said, we have studios in Australia, Africa, the UK, Canada. So it's not just me being in this one little market. We can put it out there, and anyone anywhere can do it. Can do that.
So when someone wants to get the curriculum, do they go to where do they go to get that?
So it's studio2godance.com. And here's the tricky part. We only open it up twice a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, do you have like a list, a lot of people?
Yes. So we have like a wait list, and we have an email list, and we do a free week where people can sample it and try it to make sure it's a good fit and they like it. And of course, we do big pushes on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot to get it out there. We do have evergreen stuff, like we have class packs, like we're doing one for Halloween, where it's like a little class pack you can do the month of Halloween, and we have choreography and across the floor and playlists and a birthday party package. So there are items that they can go into our shop and buy year round,
right.
But the actual curriculum we only open up twice a year, which some people think is kind of counterintuitive, but we did that very intentionally. So the competitors that we do have out there don't. It's evergreen,
right?
And obviously I guess it works for them.
And what is evergreen?
That means you can buy it at any time. So you just go get it, buy it. But for us, we wanted it to be more of like a consultancy approach. So like we are helping you transform your business. I'm not just giving you some ballet dance that you're going to do. Like if you have a question about the choreography, we have a private Facebook group. You come, you ask us, and the people who made up the dance will tell you, oh yeah, or are you having behavior issues in class? Like we can say, oh, have you tried this with the kids? Or here are some fun prop ideas, and we give them like little freebies and whatnot. And we give them business tips too. We'll do like little lives like this inside of our group with different business tools we're using. So it's much more of a total business transformation than just a preschool dance curriculum, which they're offering.
I love that.
Thanks.
I love that, and I am so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. I couldn't wait for this interview because I was like, I haven't seen Leah in so long, and she's doing so much.
Thanks. We've come a long way from those walks during lunch at Michael Page.
And how old are you now?
35. I just turned 35.
And doing all this at 35. Yeah, a lot of people can't say that.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people can't say that.
Refrain your
wife,
mindset.
Mother, business owner.
Yeah.
A successful business too.
Thank you.
And what about schools? If schools wanted to reach out to you to get their program in the school, where would they?
Yeah, so they would go to studiogodance.com.
Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh my gosh.
With the business.
With the business. So it's been interesting because I've been focusing so much more on Studio 2 Go lately. I feel like, not because I'm neglecting Studio Go, but I have such a good internal admin staff with Studio Go
that
where
you can move on to the next,
I can kind of like, they know what they're doing. Like Dana's my operations manager, and she knows what she's doing more than I do some days. Like she's awesome, so I completely trust that. And then Studio 2 Go is so new, where it's a completely different business model.
Right, and it's something you can kind of do at your computer. Right, yeah. Okay.
So it's very much like learning and kind of expanding that and growing that. I've been asked a lot about Studio Go, if I've ever thought about franchising it.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, and it's not off the table. With Studio 2 Go, I would like to be in a lot more countries, and I would also like to be going to these countries and doing like conventions or speaking engagements or whatnot. So like saying
you can do that now.
Yeah.
Do that
It's
now.
just getting more of that. Not fan base. That's not the right word. More of that like industry awareness. I guess is what you want to say. To be able to go to Sydney, Australia, and have like a 3-day conference where dance studio owners are paying to come to your conference and you're paying to teach them. Like that would be amazing to me. Or London, or wherever, because I love to travel. So if I could marry those two things, like make it be work, but also get to go see more of the world.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
I see it
So
happening.
that's really my 5-year goal. Okay. And one more thing I want to get more involved in is philanthropic work.
Okay.
So I really wanted to start a nonprofit a couple years ago, like an arm of Studio Go, where we would, do dance to whether kids with special needs or inner city kids that don't have access to it.
That's a good idea. So now, this is a question that I ask everyone. What advice would you give someone wanting to start their own business, thinking about starting their own business? What would be the one thing you would say to them?
I think, like we've been saying, just do it. Don't overthink it. Failure might happen. And if it does, you'll learn from it and it'll make you stronger. You can't be scared of it. I think sometimes people start down one road and they end up down another road and it ends up being the better road for them. So don't get inside your head, do it. Think through the important things well. Just don't get caught up so much to where you're questioning yourself. Follow your gut. I think as women, we have really good intuition. I have had 2 situations in my business where I didn't listen to my intuition.
But you learned from it.
I did. I learned from it, but it bit me in the ass. But I learned from it.
Right.
Because deep down I knew, but my mind was trying to tell me, oh, no, this doesn't make sense. On paper, it's perfect. But my intuition was correct. I also think surround yourself with a good tribe.
Yep.
Whether it is friends, a good accountant, a good attorney, you know, whatever it is, make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that on a business side know what they're doing to help you and give you the right advice. Don't try to do everything yourself. You're not you're not God. Contrary to popular belief. But you do sometimes need other people to engage and help you, and then make sure you are taking care of yourself. Like that is a huge thing. As a mother, a woman, an entrepreneur, you always come last. There's no way you can do it all. So for me, I know what my one thing is that I'm okay to sacrifice on. So figure out what that is for you. So for me, I'm not willing to sacrifice my marriage or my parental relationship with my children. I am not willing to sacrifice my health. That's why I work out and try to eat healthy when I can, but I also am going to eat cheese dip and eat cake, and that's fine too. I'm going to drink a lot of wine when I'm not pregnant anymore. I'm not willing to sacrifice my downtime, like you said. I got to have that.
You gotta have it.
My travel, those things, my friendships. So for me, the one thing that I'm willing to sacrifice is like laundry and dust on my floor. I'm sorry if you come over to my house, don't open the laundry room door, and there's probably going to be dog hair in the corner, and I'm okay with that.
Has there been any struggles with being?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. So don't want to be too negative or go down like a rabbit hole, but I think I mentioned to you, I started out in 2011. Studio Go didn't start until 2015. So I had to get out of a contract that I was in, and it was a 6-month legal battle, and it was really nasty, and I'm not going to speak about details on that, but it was one of the hardest things I've gone through in my life.
Did it discourage you a little bit?
It did, because anytime you go through something like that, it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be ugly, and the other party involved is going to say nasty things about you. And when you're in that state, you start to question yourself, well, am I a bad person, or am I doing the right thing? But in the end, you know what's right, and you got to stand up for yourself. And it was really hard, but in the end, I think that it taught me to not run from confrontation. I don't welcome it. I don't enjoy it. Before I really would run from confrontation. Now I just
it is what
it is, and I move on. I don't like it, but I'm not afraid of it. So that was very difficult. And then with Studio 2 Go, I think I told you it was a friend and a staff member who brought up the idea. And so there were 3 of us originally, and now there are only 2 of us. And so that was extremely hard, because she was a dear friend of mine, and we're no longer friends. So it sucks. I mean, there's no other way to put it. But
well, since you brought that up, was it why? Sorry, we all want to know. Why are y'all not friends no more?
Well, because the business wasn't working out. And unfortunately, we kind of had to have some real talks saying this isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working. And she didn't take that well.
So. What's her name?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
No, but and I know everyone has their side of the story. I'm not going to say that I handled everything perfectly, or I'm the innocent party in the situation. I'm not that type of person.
But sometimes it's just business. It's not personal at all.
Well,
it's
and
just business.
That's what it came down to. It was a business decision, and I don't think it was for her. It was personal, because she was involved in it. And I get that. It's hard to separate, especially as women. But there just had to be a change made for very long.
So whoever you are, you see she still has love for you. It's just business, not personal. Yeah.
Real talk.
Well, Leah, it was great having you.
Good to have
I'm
you.
so glad we got to catch up, and I got to see you.
I wish we could have done this with some champagne for the old days.
Well, we'll pop some when the baby comes.
We'll do it. When I pop, we'll pop.
And don't forget to invite me to the baby shower this time.
I won't.
Okay.
You see that resemblance there a little bit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell them before we leave how they can reach out to Studio Go, Studio 2 Go.
Yep. So you can find us studiogodance.com, studio2godance.com, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Studio Go Dance and Studio 2 Go Dance.
Thank you guys for watching. Read more about us on CamilleMarzette.com. Say bye, Leah.
Cheers, guys. Bye.